Smoking cigarettes or vaping is one of the most harmful habits if you want to keep your blood glucose levels stable. Whether you're watching this video because you're looking for motivation to quit smoking, because you want to share it with someone who needs to quit, or because someone sent it to you, stay with me. I'll explain in a simple way 4 ways in which smoking directly affects your glucose levels. By this point in 2025, we all know that smoking is bad for your health. Whether it's cigarettes, tobacco, or vapes, they all have multiple negative effects on the body. In fact, their impact on blood glucose levels, diabetes, and prediabetes is practically the same. Each inhalation affects your health much more directly than you might think, not only damaging your lungs but also harming your overall well-being. Now, let me explain 4 ways this happens. Smoking directly affects blood glucose levels. With each inhalation, hormones like cortisol and catecholamines are released, which interfere with insulin's action, preventing it from working properly. This leads to increased insulin resistance, causing glucose to accumulate in the blood at higher concentrations. Additionally, this effect directly impacts the liver by stimulating hepatic gluconeogenesis, meaning the production of more glucose. At the same time, the liver becomes more resistant to insulin. It's important to remember that insulin resistance primarily occurs in 3 tissues: muscle, fat, and the liver. Every time you smoke, you promote insulin resistance in the liver, worsening the problem. Furthermore, cigarette or vape smoke generates oxidative stress, and its toxic substances can damage the beta cells of the pancreas, which are responsible for producing insulin. As a result, smoking not only increases insulin resistance and glucose production in the liver but also impairs the pancreas's ability to produce insulin, making blood glucose control even more difficult. Each cigarette inhalation directly impacts your vascular system. Imagine your arteries and veins as highways that transport oxygen and nutrients throughout your body. If these highways deteriorate, the organs and tissues that rely on them will inevitably be affected. Smoking introduces toxic chemicals into the body, such as nicotine, carbon monoxide, and free radicals, all of which damage vascular health. Nicotine, for example, stimulates the release of adrenaline, which causes vasoconstriction, meaning the arteries become narrower. This reduces blood flow, limiting the oxygen and nutrients reaching the tissues while also increasing blood pressure. But that's not all. Cigarette smoke inflames the inner lining of blood vessels, making it stickier. As a result, lipids, fat, and cholesterol circulating in the blood are more likely to adhere to arterial walls, leading to arteriosclerosis. This buildup of plaque raises blood pressure and significantly increases the risk of heart attacks and cardiovascular issues. To put it into perspective, if 2 people have the same diet, but one smokes and the other does not, the smoker will experience a greater buildup of cholesterol in their arteries, significantly increasing their risk of a heart attack, even if both consume the same foods. People with diabetes or prediabetes know that they must take care of their kidneys, as kidney failure is a common complication when blood glucose levels are not well controlled. In this regard, smoking affects kidney health in 2 main ways. First, the kidneys rely on a network of small arteries to receive the blood flow necessary for their filtration function. As mentioned earlier, smoking deteriorates the quality of these arteries, and when this happens in the blood vessels that supply the kidneys, their filtration ability is compromised. Over time, the kidneys become less efficient and can no longer filter blood as effectively. Second, nicotine and other toxic substances found in cigarettes cause chronic inflammation in the kidneys. This sustained inflammation contributes to the development of progressive kidney failure, increasing the risk of severe long-term damage. One of the most common issues in people with uncontrolled diabetes is nerve damage, which can manifest as neuropathy or retinopathy. Although we typically associate neuropathy with the feet, it can actually affect any part of the body. Smoking contributes to this damage in 2 main ways. First, the carbon monoxide present in cigarettes reduces the amount of oxygen that reaches the nerves, impairing their function and causing progressive nerve dysfunction over time. Second, the toxic substances in cigarettes can directly cause inflammation in the nerves, worsening the pain and loss of sensation characteristic of diabetic neuropathy. These are 4 clear ways smoking harms diabetes. While we've divided them into 4 categories, they can actually be grouped into 2 major effects. The first directly affects insulin and glucose levels, while the other 3 are related to complications that arise from it. If you analyze this information, you'll see how smoking accelerates any issues associated with diabetes. Imagine that you're taking care of your diet, starting to exercise, and working hard to manage your diabetes to avoid complications, but you're still smoking or vaping. This habit, although it may seem harmless, actually accelerates the development of health problems. However, it's important to remember that a person with diabetes or prediabetes doesn't have to suffer complications if they maintain proper care and constant monitoring. The good news is that the damage caused by smoking is not always permanent. Many people experience significant improvements in their health when they quit smoking, especially those who manage their glucose levels. They will notice better blood sugar balance, a reduction in cholesterol and triglycerides, an increase in energy levels, and an overall sense of well-being. If you've been considering quitting smoking and needed clearer or more scientific information about how it affects your health, I hope this video gives you the push you need to take the first step toward a healthier, fuller, and more energetic life. It's not always an easy process, and in many cases, having support from professionals or a specialized team can make a big difference. As always, I hope this information has been helpful. Have an excellent tobacco-free day. Until next time.